Hi, welcome to my channel, Garland of Books. Today I've got a big haul for you from thrift stores, thrift books, yeah, several different thrift stores, so lots of books. All right, so I'm gonna start with the thrift books. Okay, here is Life of Johnson by James Boswell. So this is a fat book, and yeah, this is just one of those. It's got like 1,300 pages in it in this version. This is just one of those books that's on like the greatest, like top 100 books or like the great books, and this is one that C.S. Lewis said was very influential to him. It's like a big long biography. So I just wanted to have a copy. This is not like the fanciest copy, but it's a copy. Okay, here is Incident at Hawks Hill by Alan Eckert. That was just one that was recommended. It's a Newbery Honor book. Life with Father by Clarence Day. The comic classic of family life in America. I think I saw a movie of this, the comedy, a long time ago. So that should be fun. The Wolves of Willoughby Chase by Joan Aiken. So this one has some pictures in it. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, some of those were recommended from the Hand That Rocks the Cradle recommendation book. And then some of these are just from all over the place. Okay, The First Songs of Christmas, Meditations on Luke 1 and 2 by Nancy DeMoss Wolgemuth. So a 31-day Advent devotional, so I thought that could be fun. I like Nancy DeMoss Wolgemuth. I read her Adorned book and really enjoyed it, so this is just a short little devotional for Christmas time. Okay, here is The Dream Keeper and Other Poems by Langston Hughes, and it's an illustrated version, so that's extra fun. That's just another, a book of poetry, which I love getting poetry whenever I can. Here is The Stonecutter by Pam Newton. That's a picture book. I think this one was recommended by Books That Build Character. That was another book that I've read that's a book recommendation book. All right, here's a random one. A Child's Book of Character Building, book 1. This is like my freebie, I think. I saw it recommended somewhere, so we'll see. We'll see what that one's like. Let's see. The True Princess by Angela Elwell Hunt. Actually, I already read this to my kids because they saw it when I brought it in. So it's got fun illustrations. That's a book that's been reprinted by Lamplighter, but I got it on Thrift Books, so it was cheaper. An older copy. Here's one called 7 Men Who Rule the World from the Grave by Dave Breese. And I forget if this was recommended on Ambleside Online or by Simply Charlotte Mason, but it sounded just fascinating to me. So let me tell you who all of these people are. Where is the picture? Okay. Darwin, Marx, Wellhausen, Dewey, Freud, Keynes, and Kierkegaard. So some of those are much more recognizable to me than other ones. Keynes is one who I did not recognize before a couple years ago, but that's our whole economic model that is most accepted in America is Keynesian economics, but there's different models. So, but yeah, this one, all of this sounds just fascinating to me. So I'm excited to read that one. I might read that one soon. Here's The Case for Christ by Lee Strobel. I don't think I've ever read this, and I didn't own it. I have lots of books that my dad's given me because he is a minister at a church, and so he has lots of cool books, but I don't think I had this one. He probably has it, but I just wanted to get it and probably read it at some point. Okay, here is a Sir Walter Scott, The Antiquary. Here's The House of 60 Fathers by Mindert de Jongs. This is an old library book illustrated by Maurice Sendak. This is an older one. The pages are like a little bit yellowed, but this is one that's recommended, and you can't get this one new right now, and it's been out of stock for the last year or so, so I don't know if they're just not publishing it or if it's like some kind of shortage at the manufacturer, but I haven't been able to find it new, so I got an old one. Here is A Long Walk to Water by Linda Sue Park. This one's recommended by Simply Charlotte Mason. I've heard it recommended a lot of places, so I thought that would be good to get. There's one called Waterless Mountain. It is a Newbery medalist by Laura Adams Armour. So I know on Exodus Books site he recommended this one very highly, so I always like when I find people that seem to write good reviews when they have a book that they particularly recommend, that they particularly like, and I kind of want to get that book. I'm very drawn to that. So, okay, here is a William Shakespeare, The Complete Works, and this one does have some illustrations in it. It's called illustrated, but I think it generally just has one illustration way at the beginning of each play. Yeah, this is adding to my Shakespeare Tsundoku and collection. You know, I want to read them all, and I want to have multiple of them so that we can read them together and just have them easy to access, maybe in different rooms. So it's a fat book. Okay, here is one called British Cathedrals by Paul Johnson. So this is a good for architecture and just the aesthetic beauty and craft of making such large and intricate, you know, buildings and designs. So this one is, I pretty much got it to be a picture book, but it does talk about some of the cathedrals. But yes, I just want to grow our sense of aesthetics and in me and in our children, and just to see things that we don't always necessarily see every day. So I'm excited about that. And then here is this is a French in Action textbook. This is the Capret's method. So there's a free YouTube series, or it's housed at a few different places, but you can find it on YouTube. And it's just a series for learning French. And I had been listening to it casually, occasionally, but this is like a $4 or maybe $6 book. And I just thought it might be nice to have the textbook to go with it in case I wanted to use it at some point. I might like to use it a little bit. And then when my kids get to like high school age, they could probably use this course as well. So yeah, I was just able to get it on Thrift Books. I think a brand new, this is the second edition. The new edition is like the third edition, and it's like $35 or $50, you know, like a normal textbook. So I thought this was a good deal to get it cheaper. But yeah, those are fun to watch and learn about French. Okay, clean this off for more books. Some of these were free. I think this one was a free book. Young Kangaroo by Margaret Wise Brown. I basically got that because we love Goodnight Moon. This one is a Stephen Lawhead book that I had never heard of, The Warlords of Nin. So it might not even be the first of like a series. Yeah, this is the second book of the Dragon King trilogy. Okay, so, you know, I'll have to get the first one. All right, here are some random picture books. Roxaboxen by Alice McLaren. We've had this from the library before. Kitten's First Full Moon, Kevin Hincke's. We've had that from the library before. These were like 50 cents, I think. A Weed is a Flower by Aliki, The Life of George Washington Carver. Imogen's Antlers by David Small. That's a fun book. Sylvester and the Magic Pebble by William Steig. That's a fun book. The Reluctant Dragon by Kenneth Grahame. I love this story. This one's illustrated by Michael Haig. We have a slightly abridged illustrated version by somebody else, Inga Moore, I think. So I thought that'd be fun. Here is American Tall Tales by Mary Pope Osborne. I think this is recommended on Ambleside Online, so that's why I was interested in it. So that should be nice. Okay, let's see. Here's The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. We might already have a copy of this. This was like a freebie. It was in a bag of 3 books for $1, and I wanted one of them, and I didn't really care what the other 2 were. Here's the one that I wanted, Joe's Boys by Louisa May Alcott, because I have several of her books, but I didn't have this one. Okay, here is a hardcover with 3 of Thomas Hardy's books. So Tess of the D'Urbervilles, The Mayor of Casterbridge, and Far from the Madding Crowd. So that'd be nice. Here are some Newberries. Secret of the Andes by Anne Nolan Clark. Newbery winner. The View from Saturday by E.L. Konigsberg, also a Newbery winner. The Golden Fleece and the Heroes Who Lived Before Achilles by Pedrick Collum. So we're reading another book by him. I'm blanking on it, but this has some more of those. This is a Newbery honor book. More of those Greek myths, Roman and Greek myths. And here is another Shakespeare, The Complete Works, compact edition. So yeah, another big book, but I thought it might be nice to be able to have it handy in multiple rooms. Okay, put it in the box. Here's Onion John by Joseph Crumgold. I think I read this when I was in 3rd grade, and I enjoyed it. I don't remember that much about it, except that he ate onions like apples. So, Newbery winner. I, Juan de Pareja by Elizabeth Borton de Trevino. I bought another book of his. Yeah, this one, or sorry, of hers. This is one I got from Bethlehem Books. So I think this one is for a little bit younger age than that one, but so that's kind of cool. Same author. Let's see, The Wasteland by T.S. Eliot. Here is Kim by Rudyard Kipling. That was a nice book I got at one of the thrift stores. Jim Elliot by Kathleen White. So this just looks like a nice biography. Let's see. The Genius of the Early English Theatre. So this just has the complete text of 7 great plays of medieval and Renaissance English drama. So just some random plays there. Thought that could just be fun to have some random old plays. Let's see, The Gift of Fear by Gavin de Becker. I have read this before, and I recommend it. I think it's a really interesting book. He's got some great real-life first-hand experience. I think he's worked for the CIA to help find like serial killers and things like that. It's very fascinating, talking about how people usually have some indicators in advance, and you need to not ignore your instincts. You don't need to be, hyper suspicious, but you shouldn't be just going around lackadaisical, not suspicious of anything. You should be willing to receive input about if there are things that are danger signals. Okay, Byron Poetical Works. Big boy. We've got Edgar Allan Poe, The Fall of the House of Usher and Other Writings. When I see classics at thrift stores, that's what I gravitate to. I just love all these old classics, tried and true. Common Sense, Rights of Man by Thomas Paine. Moliere, Don Juan and Other Plays. Add to my plays. Let's see. John Webster, 3 plays. I should put all those plays books together. The Latin Poets. So let's see, who does this have? It's got several. So, poetry, excellent. It's such a cute little book too. That's pretty. Got a big box here. Okay. The Little Lame Prince by Dinah Maria Mulak Craik. So this is a sweet old book. I love this book, and so I rarely see it, so I just wanted to get it. I already have one copy of it that was my great-grandmother's, and so it always reminds me of her, and I love it, so I just wanted to get another copy of it, because mine's a little bit falling apart. American Verse of the 19th Century. So it's another book of poetry. The Anti-Federalist Papers and the Constitutional Convention Debates. Okay, there's just some books my husband got. And here is the last thing that I got. The McGuffey readers. So this whole box set of them. What does this say? $10 for all of these. So I was like, I didn't think I could pass these up. So yeah, that is my haul of late. Hope y'all enjoyed that. Hope that gave you some inspiration, or something. Maybe not. All right, bye.